What's going on, 49er Faithful, 49er fan, 49er gang? It's your boy 49er Dion here, back with another video. Boy, boy, boy. Definitely, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on them post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right into it. Talk about a disaster. Man, this was a bad game. Really bad game. And oh my God. I'm gonna get into it, y'all. I'm gonna get into it. Just kind of take a breather. So, first quarter, Green Bay scored 7. We scored 3. Second quarter, 14. We scored nothing. Third quarter, 10. We scored nothing. Fourth quarter, they scored 3. We decided to come up with 14 points out of nowhere. The offense decided to wake up. The biggest issue that I saw tonight was a lack of communication. Period. That's what happened. What's happening, John V? Yeah, that pretty much was a death-defying game. So here's the thing. The first thing I noticed when we got on the field was why the fuck was Daniel Brunskill playing center and not Hieronymus Grossi? Why is Tom Compton in the game when all we heard during training camp that he was trash and he should be cut? Why was Colton McKivitz even in the game at times? We literally shuffled the offensive line, which is the one thing you can't move. School got his ass handed to him in ways you can't imagine. But if you remember last year, if it was last, no, it wasn't last year. It was, I think it was the year before last. Justin School was playing against Cleveland, and Myles Garrett was eating him alive. That shit got him benched. They went ahead and put in Daniel Brunskill, and the bleeding stopped. So what's up, Mariah? But so many things to get into. The biggest thing is you shuffle the offensive line, you move all these pieces around. It makes absolutely no sense. You don't have time to really practice, so why are you shifting all these pieces on the offensive line? That makes absolutely no sense. So I don't know what the offensive line coach is doing, and I don't know what Kyle was doing allowing that, thinking we were going to have any chance of winning this game because Nick has no cohesiveness and no connection with any of these guys. River Craycraft, you had a shot. This is why you didn't make the squad, buddy. Why? Because you don't you're supposed to catch that ball all the way through. That's a TD. If you score that, we only lose by 10. You can shift the momentum just in your own. Correct. At least we are not the Jets. The Jets can't win a game, save their life. It was a really piss poor effort. Defense, I was really confused. Oh yeah, yeah. Hey boy, and I hope you didn't have too long of a day at work because we had a long damn day on the field. Um, but there's some points I'm going to make that'll help us understand exactly why this game went the way it went. First point I'm going to make is I'm not going to fault Nick Mullins for any of this, not at all. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give Nick Mullins a pass because you don't have no rapport with any of these receivers. None. You know, uh, he doesn't. He knows nothing about River Craycraft. He barely knows shit about Trent Taylor because Trent Taylor don't be on the field. He seemed to have a nice little connection with Richie James, though. That seemed to make a little bit of sense. You know, um, it seemed that Jerick McKinnon wound up, you know, at this point, it doesn't sound too bad, but I'm still pushing for 10-6. That means we have to basically not lose more than one other game. But what I saw on offense was just the ineptitude of the offense, strictly based on the fact that there is no cohesiveness. We don't know who these guys are. You know, Craig Raft, we don't know nothing about him. Kevin White was called up. He stayed on the sidelines most of the fucking game, outside of playing on special teams here and there. You saw more McKinnon than you saw Jermichael Hasty. And McKinnon actually didn't look too bad tonight. I'm not gonna say anything negative about it. He actually looked very patient. He was making smart runs and doing things the right way. Eman Mosley, I said it in my previous video. This is why I stated there's a time where you must, as a defensive back, go to your coordinator and tell him I'm with this dude all game long. But it didn't look like it made much of a difference. Jason Verrett got his ass ate up too. Marcel Harris blew that coverage on that touchdown pass to Valdez-Scantling. Jason Verrett blew the touchdown pass to Valdez-Scantling again. Tart blew the coverage on the Mercedes Lewis TD. Like, there's just so many blown coverages and just defensive incommunication. The only bright spot on the defense was Fred Warner because he was tackling everything you can think of. Fred Warner was all over it. He was getting at it with Aaron Jones, you know. Um, and exactly, Tark wound up going out the game. Don't know what's going on with him. I mean, we can't go a game without losing somebody. Because I was wondering why Marcel Harris was in the fucking game in the first place, and they just randomly come out of nowhere. Oh, Jaquiski Tartt left with an injury. What? When the hell did this shit happen? So the sad part is, it is what it is. I think what happened is, and I'm just gonna be 100% honest with you. The reason you didn't see the line set up the way it was set up, and the reason you didn't see a lot of guys, like you didn't see a lot of Jordan Reed. He was healthy. He was supposed to be on the field. You didn't see much K'Wan Williams. He was healthy too, but he wasn't really on the field. You saw Jamar Taylor. You saw Jason Verrett. You saw Emmanuel Mosley. Kello Witherspoon was actually deactivated for this game. It looks like that. If I'm safely assuming, Dante Johnson was out there playing special team. You know, and yeah, seeing Roger smile, he was at the line and he was smiling. And I thought that was like, that to me was some bitch shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some chump shit, bro. Don't do that. You know, I mean, you want to smile on your sideline. You gonna smile while you on the field. You piss somebody off. But the hard part for us is just, it's a hard pill to swallow because we usually beat on the Packers like they stole something. We usually just kill him. You know, it's never a situation where we wind up not being able to um, just execute the offense in general. No, we're not taking. I think this was a situation, fellas and ladies. I think this was a situation where we wound up trying to get out of there as healthy as possible, and we lived to fight another day. That's exactly what happened. That's just what happened. We decided that we need to make sure that we get out of there as healthy as possible. And that's why you didn't see much of Jordan Reed. That's why you didn't see much of K'Wan Williams. Um, it just, it looked basically to me like they were saying, okay, we're trying to keep the guys as healthy as possible. We already know that most of these dudes that we have on this COVID-19 list are going to be fine. We'll take this time off, probably have a little bit of extra time to get these guys back. I even saw Debo. He was on his live on Instagram with Raheem Mostert, and they're both looking at the game like, we just getting killed. You know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers, 25 and 31, 305 yards, 4 TDs. Aaron Jones, 15 carries, 58 yards. He only had a 3.9 yard average. So we did pretty good, you know what I'm saying, with the run game. It wasn't too bad. You know, I mean, it was all right, but where did we get killed? Davante Adams, 10 receptions, 173 yards, one TD. Valdez Scantling, two catches, and both of them were TDs. One where he blew right past Marcel Harris. The other one where Jason Verrett blew his coverage down there in the end zone. And you know what kills me is the art of jamming a receiver is just a lost art now. Why is no one jamming receivers off the line? That don't make no sense. If you think about it, you down there with only 5, you can jam a receiver within 5 yards. It's perfectly legal. It's in the rule book. But I think the reason that people don't do it no more is because it's the ticky tack fouls, man. You do anything to a receiver, they throw a flag on you. You breathe on them the wrong way, they throwing a flag. Your breath was too hot, 15-yard penalty, like bullshit like that, you know. But once again, the pass rush just not getting home. That's the problem. You can't get home. If your pass rush is trash like that, there's nothing you can do. We all miss Bosa, Matt. We all miss Bosa. You know, and I don't think the secondary, Horatio, I don't think the secondary is overrated. I just think that the scheme is what's overrated. Like, my biggest issue all the time when it comes to Robert Saleh is he does not adjust to the offense that he's playing. He runs his same punk ass cover three all the time. Like he won't. You know. Yeah, I mean the practice. And basically we did. We had pretty much practice squad guys out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not gonna blame Nick Mullins for this, but we had this kid. Who was it? Because Devontae Adams was the one who really ate us up. But Mercedes Lewis, Valdez Scantling had two TDs, and Devontae Adams pretty much had most of their yards. Going into the fourth quarter, Devontae Adams had more yardage on his own than we had as a team. You know what I'm saying? So our edge rushers are definitely being missed in ways you can't imagine. I don't like Dee Ford, but fuck, at least if he can get his punk ass healthy, get your bitch ass on the field and earn your paycheck instead of getting paid to do nothing like Jerick McKinnon did for 2 years. Why the hell you think we only paying him $1 million right now? Why? Because Jerick McKinnon's ass was getting paid to do nothing. You know what I mean? But this is exactly how this goes. Like, look at this. First quarter, Green Bay, first offensive possession, touchdown. We get ours. 3 plays, 1 minute 34 seconds, we punt. Green Bay, they punt. So the defense did what they were supposed to do in the first quarter. We get a field goal. All right, we're supposed to have a touchdown. Craig Crab drops that. Next thing you know, Green Bay punts again. So the defense is holding it up. We get another offensive possession. Nick throws that interception. At that point, Nick, I had to look at the play a couple of times. Nick should have taken the sack. You live to fight another day. Mitch Wisnowski could pin them inside, at least the 10, with the way that he punts the ball. As long as we can get down there, to stop these dudes, that's perfectly fine. But you take the sack on that. You don't wind up throwing a pick because what happens with that? They turn around, touchdown. That's the blown coverage by Jaquiski Tartt. Next thing you know, we get another possession, punt. Next thing you know, Green Bay gets another possession, touchdown. This is all in the second quarter. We get another possession, punt. Starting to see the pattern here. We're not producing in any way, shape, or form. Third quarter comes, we get the ball because we kicked off at the beginning of the game. Punt. Green Bay, touchdown. San Francisco, fumble. Green Bay, field goal. San Francisco, turnover on downs. Fourth quarter comes. Green Bay, field goal. 49ers, touchdown. Green Bay, punt. 49ers, touchdown. Green Bay, kneel down, easy dub. So it's crazy how, we we just faltered the way that we did. You know, let's see, who is this? It just says YouTube. Says McKinnon gonna be sore to border. LOL. D4 don't give a fuck. Mike McGlinchey shouldn't be a captain. No, McGlinchey shouldn't be a captain. McGlinchey is hot garbage. But the way that Justin School played tonight, he gonna be sore. His ego gonna be sore anyway. Um, and look, man, I'm actually a very short person, so my height would only allow me to play running back. And I can tell you this: when I was in high school, um, I did try out for the football team, but I didn't want to play JV. I wanted to play varsity, but because of my size, they did not anticipate that I would make it. But I was bad. I was cold, but I decided to run track. So me and football just became a love that I played with my friends. I played on grass. We played actual tackle football. We played in the street, sideline, pop, all of that. Had fun. Richie was the only bright spot. Um, you know, and the defense did get gassed. The only person that made it home tonight was Jordan Willis, the guy that we traded for. Amazingly, he gets his first sack in the NFL because the guy was a sacking machine in college. From his college stats, that man every year he increased in a dramatic fashion. So I just don't know why he never got a chance in the NFL. You know, um, he plays strong safety at SC. Huh? That's okay. That's you really got to be out there to be playing at SC. SC ain't no joke. That's top. That's top tier school right there. Um, Roy Boy John B, y'all killing me right now talking about bacon. I like turkey bacon. I don't dig on the swine, no pork. But I mean, if you flip to the other side of the ball, you take a look at us. Nick Mullins, 22 out of 35, 291 yards, one TD, one interception. Jerick McKinnon, 12 carries, 52 yards, one TD. He still had a 4.3 yard average, so that's actually not bad. That's not bad at all. But like I said, from McKinnon, what I saw was a lot of patience. McKinnon was picking and choosing his spots. He knew where to run. He knew what to do. So I give McKinnon a lot of credit for that. So Michael Hasty didn't do much of anything running the ball. It was all bad. They were stopping him behind the ball, behind the line, as quick as they could. Justin School got murdered. He just got assaulted by Preston Smith. He just beat the poor kid up, man. There was no hope whatsoever. So receiving Richie James, whoa, slow my roll. I didn't see this. Richie James, 9 catches, 184 yards in a TD? You mean to tell me this man had better numbers than Devontae Adams? Why? Because there were a lot of chunk plays. Richie was coming uncovered on many of his plays. You know what I'm saying? It was just Nick getting the ball to him. And then at the same time, when you don't have the proper offensive line in there, what do they expect? I hope they don't. And here's the thing: you're gonna see tomorrow on Twitter, all kinds of social media. Everybody gonna beat Nick Mullins up. Oh, Nick, you suck. You're this, you're that. Rah rah, blah blah. You can't blame Nick Mullins for this game. You can't. He has no rapport with any of these receivers. He doesn't know who the fuck these people are on the line. Outside of Lakin Tomlinson, Daniel Brunskill, and Mike McGlinchey, and then you randomly insert Tom Compton. Now you switch Daniel Brunskill over to center when he was playing center in training camp and he looked like hot garbage doing it. You know what I mean? It just, these things, you just, is hard to blame. But like I said, when you see top tier players on the sidelines, you see the coaches saying, you know what, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting this game is already over. It's too far out of reach. We're not going to put anybody in to put them at risk. We've got more than enough time off. We don't play, for another couple weeks. We're good. Basically, they got all that time to be relaxing and don't have to worry about shit. So I can tell you right now, this next game, oh, everybody gonna be ready. Everybody gonna be ready. What do y'all go? Y'all look okay. Got drafted before you that 23 INT. 23 INTs in one season? Damn, man, you over there killing the game. That's a lofty goal right there, man. Canadian bacon is too damn good for you. Oh man, y'all killing me right here. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, John. We can't trash Nick. We just can't. We cannot, unfortunately, trash Nick Mullins for this because he has no rapport with any of those receivers, and there's nothing he can do. When you got an offensive line that's just getting killed, yeah, Willis didn't look too bad. He's the only one who got home as far as on defense. Outside of Fred Warner. Now here's the thing. On the offensive side of the ball, Richie James was a bright spot. Looks like toward the end of the game, everything started to sort of click and the offense started to find its way. But then again, Green Bay wasn't carrying. Like it didn't matter to them. They still had their pass rush. They were still trying to get to Nick Mullins as much as they possibly could. But the thing is, we started moving the ball a little bit better. But here's the thing with the offense. And this is the problem with Kyle Shanahan that I don't like. And I wish he would stop doing it. Kyle Shanahan learned he concedes way too easy. Way too easy. You know what I'm saying? And it's always confusing because right before halftime, you see him, he's like, we're down. It's okay. Let's go now. Why aren't you trying to score? You're running the ball when you're down by 28 points. Why are you running the ball? You're not going to catch up like that. You seen Richie get on these chunk plays, run those same type of plays, mix it up, do different things. Change up the scheme a little bit, like adjusting on the fly is something that just does not happen with this team, and it really drives me insane. And that's what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? But Ross Dwelley, 3 catches, 52 yards. Jerick McKinnon, 3 catches, 16 yards. You know what I'm saying? Nick Mullins lost his fumble. Fred Warner had 9 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss. On the defensive side of the ball, we look like hot shit on the stick. I don't understand what happened and why it even happened. San Francisco's $80.8 million in cap space currently on IR. That is a notification that just popped up on my phone. On IR, we have $80.8 million sitting on the bench being paid. That is ridiculous. But back to the defense. A lot of it is just miscommunication, man. You don't know what these dudes are doing. And when it comes to the defense, the DBs look like hot garbage. Jason Verrett was getting ate up. He didn't do a great job. Wasn't very happy with Eman Mosley. I knew they were going to attack him and pick on him. They saw what DK did to him last week, and they just went right at his throat. So we already knew that. You know what I'm saying? It was the bourbon shot. I need a shot of bourbon right now, John B. But no, I was just going on top of the defense, Matt. That's just basically it. The offensive line was horrible, but the defensive line, they were trying to get to him, but they just couldn't finish. Rodgers squeaked out of there because at the end of the day, Rodgers is still a mobile quarterback. He might be almost 37 years old, but the man still moves more than enough to be able to get out of those types of situations. Those pockets collapse. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to give a big clap to Javon Kinlaw. That's a whole lot of human being. Boy, he tried his ass off to get Aaron Rodgers. He gassed himself out trying to get to A-Rod, man. And A-Rod snuck right out of bounds. But at the end of the day, defensive backs didn't look good. Safeties didn't look good. The beginning of the game, what was really pissing me off about the defense was everybody was throwing their body into Aaron Jones. And you cannot at in any way, shape, or form. When you are in the league, you have to know how to tackle. Tackling is taught from Pop Warner days. I'm talking about when you put the helmet on it and almost make you fall over because it's so heavy on top of your head and the rest of your body ain't ready for all that weight. That's when tackling is taught and it's taught properly. Stop throwing. Tart, I don't like when he does that shit. I hate when Jimmy Ward does that shit. You know the two people that tackle properly? Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. Fred will wrap you up. He gets his arms around you. He wants to give you a big old hug, and he is on your ass. You know, NFL allow people to use sticking. Oh well, yeah, maybe Craycraft wouldn't have dropped that touchdown. Um, yes, we sacked Aaron Rodgers once. Roy Boy, the kid that we got from the New York Jets, Jordan Willis, was the only person with the sack tonight. We put a lot of pressure, but we didn't get home. We only got home once. But you know, when you're trying to get somebody down and you're trying to get an NFL running back down and somebody with the talent of Aaron Jones, you don't throw your body into him. You wrap his ass up and you take him to the ground. The only knock that I have on Fred Warner tonight was there was a lot of celebrating, but we getting our ass handed to us. There ain't no time for you to celebrate. You don't need to be happy that you're making these tackles. You need to be looking around going, guys, we need to get an interception. We need to do certain things. We need to do this. We need to do that. You know, JB almost had an interception, but negated by a penalty. And then that PI on Jason Verrett was one of the worst pass interference calls I've ever seen in my life. Back in the day, the NFL, they used to let you play through shit. You know, it's a little jostling back and forth, just, jockeying for position. It is what it is. But that ball was so far out of reach for Davante Adams, he wasn't going to catch that no way. But you throw the flag and give them another fucking opportunity when we would have at least held them to a field goal if that doesn't happen. So just PI was horrible. And the refs all night long were just bad. I mean, it seems like every time we go home, the refs don't like us in our own shit. And that don't make no sense. I can see if we was in somebody else's house and we was getting calls that were negative like that, it would make sense. But when we in our own house, our own refs are like, nah, fuck that. We're gonna penalize y'all as much as we possibly can. But the Richie hold was valid. Ratio. That was sorry, that's the old alarm. But Richie Holmes was valid. Yeah, he literally almost had his arm wrapped around that dude. So that call was valid. I saw that. No, Vonovich hates us. He really does. Every time he calls a game for us, he's always throwing flags. Always. And he's always there. This one, this one, this one, this one. I'm like, God damn, bro. Like, what did we do? Somebody fucked his wife. That's what happened. Somebody slept with that man's wife. Met him before the game, handed him that little envelope that ain't nobody supposed to know about. Hey, yeah, man, how you going? Mm-hmm. There you go, right there. Everything's good, right? I know. But at the end of the day, defense didn't do well enough. They were gassed out because they spent more time on the field than they spent on the sideline. Um, Offense didn't look as good, strictly based on the fact that there was musical chairs on the goddamn offensive line, so you didn't know who the fuck was playing where, doing what. And Nick Mullins just didn't have any rapport with the receiver, so I'm not going to blame Nick for that. And I think I saw a lot of people start calling for CJ. Now, one thing we got to do is as Niner fans, man, we got to stop doing that shit. You got to stop doing it. You can't start calling for a man to get benched when you understand the circumstances clearly. At the end of the day, Nick Mullins was in there with a makeshift offensive line, a bunch of receivers he doesn't know, and he just tried to make do with what he could. Plus, you have your left tackle who's supposed to be protecting your blind side getting beat like he stole something. Hey, you're not going to feel comfortable in the pocket. Nobody would. I know I wouldn't feel good if Justin School was trying to look. John B, man, you are one of the most honest people I know. He said, "Hey, look, man, I'm guilty as charged." But with the circumstances tonight, we did what we could. I think the coaches, once again, at the end of the day, they said, We are getting out of here healthy. Losing Tart to me doesn't matter, but one thing that I do want to start seeing is Jonathan Cyprien. I think Jonathan Cyprien would do better than Marcel Harris. He really would, because Harris is a short tackler when it comes to the run game, but he's shit in the pass game. Everyone knows that. So it baffles me that Jonathan Cyprien is healthy, that he's making plays on special teams, but he can't get no time on the fucking field. And that goes back to something that my boy Mike Andrews from Nothing But Niners told me. There's a lot of favoritism, a whole lot of favoritism. It's continually an issue. Horatio says the Shanahan offense really worked when Debo is on the field, like he's a wizard, right? Yes, actually he does. When Debo is on the field, there's a different dynamic to this offense, completely different. You know what I mean? Um, Cardinal fan is trying to break into my house. Nah, man, everybody trying to break into my house. It's just 9 o'clock here, and that's how things go. Um, They might have had maybe 5 more completions with KB, Kittle, and Debo. Uh, I was completely sold on that dude as a number 2. To be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you this: the play, basically the way the plays were set up, and they said this right before the game, right in probably about the middle of the game, because it was Moose and Troy Aikman calling the game. Um, most of the plays were scripted for Brandon Ayuk. At least I think they said it's like an 85-15 split in favor of Ayuk, and the other 15 was going to KB. Because KB is always a red zone threat. He just, the dude, when he gets in the red zone, something clicks, he works. You know what I'm saying? Um, but what I can tell you is when we play the Saints, when we eventually play the Saints, we'll be a lot healthier. I guarantee you that offensive line is going to look like it should. And I'm going to tell you the reason we can fight more and win that game, Richie, was definitely Ayuk. Very good point, John. The reason we'll be able to fight more and try to win that game is because we'll have the receivers back. We'll have the Jordan Reeds. We'll have, you know, we'll have KB. We'll have Ayuk. We won't have Kittle. We won't have Debo. We won't have Raheem. But I can tell you we should be good. We'll have to see what goes on. But this is more time for guys to get back and things to get back into motion and then swing at things. You know what I mean? Um, but I think Jonathan Cyprien should be able to get on the field, but because of that favoritism, it's definitely, what I'm saying, crazy. Oh man, look, Matt, I get dirty looks from Cardinal fans all the time. You know what I tell them? Y'all can kiss my ass. Y'all can get a ring. Come talk. You and they ain't even got one. That ring was so many years ago. Yeah, when was your last ring? Never. I had a Cardinal fan try to get. I'll tell you this. I had a Cardinal fan try to get into an argument. You know what I looked at him and I told him? James Harrison. That Cardinal fan turned around and walked away. Because that's who stole your Super Bowl ring. Larry had one shot. He had one chance. And James Harrison destroyed all. And that man was so gassed when he got to that, he fell in that damn. And Larry, it's almost like it was a caption right above Larry's head when he was chasing him down. And all you saw was him. The caption just kept saying, "No, no, 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 no." And under that caption, you just saw his Super Bowl ring just gone. You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna get, man, they ain't getting no ring, bro. Kyler Murray may or may not bring them a ring. I don't know. But I'm not worried about the Cardinals right now. But at the end of the day, guys, we did what we could. We didn't do great, you know. I mean, I'm glad that at least the offense showed some kind of gumption, some kind of fight, and turned it up to 17 rather than us just getting beat 34-3. You know, um, Richie did good and did bad. He showed, hey, I'm a viable threat. People don't understand, you know, my, my abilities. But then there were moments where we were like, okay, this is why they don't put you. River Craycraft, back to the practice squad, buddy. Mm-mm. That there's a reason you are not in the NFL. There was a couple of passes that Nick threw that weren't necessarily great, but when you have your moment to shine, you gotta shine. And you're right, Roy Boy. Brandon Ayuk is a full-on gem. He is. He was worth the first round pick. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll tell you this. When I saw that we went up to go get Ayuk, I was upset because we just got the damn pick and we needed that. And we needed more players. So for me, I was upset at the moment that we drafted him. And the reasoning behind why we drafted him, the bullshit excuse of, oh, Green Bay was gonna draft him. When's the last time Green Bay went and got Aaron Rodgers some help outside of Davante Adams? I'll wait. Green Bay wasn't finna draft no damn Brandon Ayuk. They wanted to draft Jordan Love the whole fucking time to light a fire under Aaron Rodgers' ass and say, hey, you better be good about this and you better be great. Because if you don't, we're gonna put that young man in, he gonna take your job the same way you took Brett's. Simple as that. Nothing different. You know what I'm saying? Uh Super Bowl 43. What Super Bowl was that, man? Was that you talking about last year when we lost? Because I'm not remembering all the Super Bowls right now. I got so many other things going. Jerry Judy or CD Lamb, but no, CD Lamb is looking all right. Judy, you're in Denver. You're already gonna shine out there. You got Drew Lock as your quarterback. CD Lamb wasn't looking bad, but then Dak went down, so now he'll start looking like hot garbage. Um, but the Cardinals Steelers. Oh yeah. I watched it. I've lived in Arizona since like '09. So yeah, I was here for that Super Bowl. But it was a failure. It was a failure on that part. I watched the whole thing, you know. Because I'm one of those people like I just love football in general. I'm a diehard Niner fan, but I love football in general. So I usually will watch the Super Bowl, and kind of keep things, on the up and up if I want to. But yeah, I watched that Super Bowl, and yes, it was not the best thing. The Megatron paired up with Debo and Ayuk. Yeah, you over there trying to build a super squad. This ain't the NBA where we can get ourselves a big three. If you had Calvin Johnson, Debo, and yeah, that's not fair. That's not even an opposing defense. It's just you're screwed because you don't know what to do. There's no hope. Oh yeah, Santonio Holmes will forever have those Cardinal fan dreams all day, all the time. And to me, honestly, I swear to you, I watched that play a million times over, and I can tell you this: I almost feel like one of those toes was not in. I almost feel like it, but I mean, it's too late for that. I don't even care. A DK type, yes, yeah, a big body, which we were supposed to have that in some awful, disgusting, hurt piece of shit called Jalen Hurd. Now I know people like Jalen Hurd. They was on, they was just riding the train and yeah, man, Hurd consider he's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be awesome. So last year you don't play. This year you don't play. And I don't know what to do now. I'm one of those people, I'm always gonna be the same person that I am, and I'm never gonna like change, my opinion on somebody until they show me different. It's the same thing that I have with Jerick McKinnon. Until you show me different, Jerick, he was on my shit list. The first 4 or 5 games of the season, he looked great. He was scoring touchdowns. He was doing what he could. He was moving. He was doing all the shit. That's cool. He just scored for us tonight. He did what he could. He averaged 4.3 yards per carry. Can't be mad at that. There's nothing stellar or spectacular about it, but still, hey, sounds better than nothing. It's a lot better than anything else that we have as far as what's going on. But there's nothing really that we can do, right now this season. Give me a sec, guys. This season pretty much is just shot. Um, this is man. Shout out to B, man. You killed me, bro. But the Malcolm Butler play in the Super Bowl was the dumbest play of all because the reason behind that was strictly based on the fact that you don't like beast mode. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how that works. And I saw this, and I'll stick to this, and I'll never leave this. I'll never leave my opinion on this. The simple fact, McKinnon's value is what it is. Like the dude's a dual threat. He can run, he can catch. He's been used more so for the run rather than the catch. He can catch out of the backfield. He can actually run routes. So McKinnon's value is what it is. But I can tell you right now, McKinnon is a free agent next year. He will not be on this team. Period. He will not be on this team. There's a lot of guys this year that have played themselves out of contract. Solomon Thomas is one of them. This was his year for him to try to shine, to be able to secure a new contract with this team or another team. This was his audition year. ACL, gone. But as far as that situation with the Pats and the Seahawks, what happened with that was when you win the Super Bowl like that, you automatically become the MVP. You know what I'm saying? All right, Roy. Hey, have a good evening, man. Take a long shower, get you some rest. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Um, but with that situation, it's period point blank, he was going to be the Super Bowl MVP. And at that time, Marshawn Lynch was not the open, fun, playful Marshawn Lynch that he is now. Marshawn Lynch at that time, straight up was Oakland, I am, that dude, it is what it is, woo, woo, blah, blah, blah. That's how that worked, you know. And they were going to ask him, hey, you just won the Super Bowl, Marshawn Lynch. Where are you going? He's probably going to tell them back to the streets, go celebrate with the homies. You need to be saying, I'm going to Disneyland. You need to be happy because you're going to get like a car or some shit. Like you got to be that rah-rah kind of guy. That was not Marshawn. So what did they say? Pete Carroll said, nope, Russell, you're going to throw this. And I'm 100% sure Russell probably in his head was like, the fuck are you talking about? We got a damn bulldozer. The man literally did a sports science. Marshawn Lynch said it. He did a sports science. You know the man has the power of a Mack truck going almost 10 miles per hour in his legs. At the time he did that, do you understand how strong that is? You know how hard it is to stop a Mack truck? It's you can't. So it's a lot, man. You know what I mean? But that they're just things that happen. And then Matt, when it comes to that Super Bowl where the Broncos won, let me tell you something. That Super Bowl was rigged. They went to Cam Newton and paid him off because there ain't no way in hell Cam Newton was playing that great all year long, and they randomly decided to show up in the Super Bowl and play like hot shit on the stick. As a waste that they paid Cam Newton off. They came to him, patted him on the shoulder, and told him it's Peyton Manning's last ride. We're gonna go ahead and give this one to him. You're good. Don't worry about it. But as far as this game goes against the Packers, we lost, but at least we showed some kind of fight toward the end. We can take that momentum and ride it into this game with the Saints. We can take this extra time off, get guys healthy, get guys off this COVID list, and look forward to at least at a bare minimum, looking way more competitive and being stronger and better and trying to grow for this. And then saying to ourselves, hey, we got to make sure that we get guys back and we give them a chance to get healthy. Because Richard Sherman been out for an awfully long time. He should have been back by now. There's no reason that Sherman should be out as long as he's been out. But yeah, they did. They rigged their Super Bowl. Super Bowls do get rigged. It's not uncommon. Um, my unbiased opinion on Beast Mode, he was a fantastic. Beast Mode played the way that Beast Mode wanted to play. Played hard, and he was actually pretty quick. Because if you remember, I believe Beast Mode got drafted by Buffalo. He started his career in Buffalo, and he wound up with Seattle after he left Buffalo. But Beast Mode, I appreciate him. I like California guy. You know what I'm saying? My kind of dude. Never met him, but just by personality and everything, I like him. He's just quiet, reserved dude. Very good dude. And as far as his play on the field, um, he he was crazy. He ran like nobody ran, man. He was like he was like a slower AP, if I could say, because he was never as fast as Adrian Peterson. But they have a very similar running style where they'll hit you before you hit them. Will he be a Hall of Famer? That's a toss up. I'm gonna give it a 75-25, 75 yes, 25 no. Only because he did what he could and he did everything that he could. But maybe I guess his attitude maybe before he left rubbed people the wrong way, but maybe he switched that up good now. So I think he's great. I think he might sneak to the Hall of Fame. Might not. Um, Hey man, believe me, there's a lot of ifs. I would have loved to have played at UCLA. But UCLA was one of those colleges you gotta have super grades to get in. SC is a private school, and you still gotta have super grades challenge that you want to. But I know a couple of homies that wound up going to SC and getting a free ride because they had ridiculous football talent. They just never wanted to play. Um, I have to remember. I don't remember when Pat Willis retired. I believe you have to be retired for about 6 years before you can be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Mistake. Yes, Frank. That's not even a question, man. No, that's not even a question for Frank Gore being cat. Are you serious? The man is literally climbing the top rushing list as we speak. Yes, Frank Gore will guarantee being cat just because of who he was on and off the field and the way he conducts himself. The consummate professional. Guaranteed he's going. Guaranteed he's going. Yeah, there's no way. You know, guaranteed. He's definitely going to the point. I don't know. Willis retired in 2014. He's eligible probably this year coming up. He is eligible this year coming up. I do believe that Patrick Willis will go into the Hall of Fame because Patrick Willis was one of the very few transcendent players. Remember, we drafted him and Joe Staley in the same draft. So the thing with Patrick Willis is like he just you don't find a guy like you just don't. That's a once in a generation type dude. Willis will always be that guy. He'll always be a once in a generation type. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and go, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful evening. I know we lost tonight, but at the end of the day, look forward to the Saints game. We're gonna have a lot of dudes healthy. We're gonna be playing a lot better, and we're gonna go out there and make Drew Brees work for it. And at the end of the day, we're still the Niners. We're still faithful. We still got this. Eli, yeah, guaranteed Hall of Fame. 2 Super Bowl rings. There's no way in hell you're not. And then your dad's a football player, and then your brother's a football player. Like it's a Manning family type situation. Guaranteed Eli. Guaranteed. There's no denying. Like he brought 2 rings to the Giants. I think to such a short span of time. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, Javi. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I'm gonna pull you in on one of these shows one time. You be cracking me up, bro. I'll be dead. But y'all have yourselves a good evening, Matt. I appreciate you. Um, hey, look, man. At the end of the day, a win is a win. Doesn't matter how you get one, man. It matters that you got. He threw that ball, that play to David Tyree. He chucked that shit up there, and he didn't know where that ball was going. That was a godsend. Play to Mario Manningham on the sideline. Godsend. You know what I'm saying? But the difference was part of the reason they won those 2 games strictly was based on the fact that the defense, Steve Spagnuolo, that rotating defensive line, basically you're rotating in starters constantly. Everybody, their backups were starters on the knee of the squad. So when you keep Tom Brady tap dancing in the pocket, that's the reason why you had those dubs. Y'all have yourselves a good evening. And yes, John B, I'm going to hold you to that, man. I'll get at you on Twitter. Y'all be safe, be blessed. And once these ballots come in, please, people, be very careful. I don't like talking politics at all, but just be very careful. You know what I'm saying? Once they finalize everything, be very careful. Please, stay as safe as possible because depending on whichever way it goes, people get stupid, man. Tell them be as safe as possible out there. Oh yeah, you already know. It's gonna be a lot of people out there, man. Shout out Rambo Sports. Y'all have a good evening. I'm out.